Come out on my porch with me some evening in July, right about the time the light goes gold and everything goes quiet. That's the hour a man wants to sit down. And that's the exact hour you can't, because they find you. Back of the neck first, then the ankles. You slap one and you've told the other 40 right where you are. Now, everybody's got an answer for this. Everybody. Your neighbor tells you to go dump every bit of standing water on the whole place, tip the buckets, fill the low spots, chase down every puddle. Fella at the store sells you a blue light that hangs on the porch and crackles all night. Somebody else tells you to fog the whole yard down with poison till it smells like a filling station. And I did all of it one time or another. Chased puddles, bought the crackling light, every bit of it. Here's the twist, neighbor. The thing that finally worked wasn't getting rid of the standing water. It was setting out one bucket of it on purpose. And before I explain a single lick of why, let me just hand you the whole thing right now so you've got it. An old bucket, a couple handfuls of grass, and one tablet that costs about $2. That's it. You fill the bucket, let the grass go ripe and stinking, drop in the tablet, and set it in the shade. And that bucket kills every mosquito that tries to breed on your place for a solid month, and it won't harm a honeybee, your dog, the fish in your pond, or one lightning bug. That's the fix. $2 and a bucket. Now, stay with me, because how it works is the part that makes it stick, and there's one thing folks always get wrong that ruins the whole thing. And at the very end, I'm going to show you the thing already hanging on your porch that's quietly making your mosquito problem worse. You're going to want to take it down that same night. All right, here's how it's done. First thing you got to get straight in your head is where a mosquito spends her life. Because it ain't in the air. That part, the flying, biting part, that's the very tail end of it. That's the last few days. She starts in water, every one of them. A female lays her eggs on still water. Didn't take much. A bottle cap's worth'll do. And those eggs hatch into little wrigglers. You've seen them. Those comma-looking things that jerk around just under the surface in an old tub. That's a mosquito. That's most of her whole life, right there, hanging under the water, breathing through a little tube. Days like that. Then she pupates. Then she flies, and then she comes for you. So you see the mistake everybody makes. We wait till she's got wings, and then we go to war with her. That's the hardest possible place to catch her, armed, fed, and flying. When she spent nearly her whole life stuck in a puddle where you could have had her with no trouble at all. Kill 'em young, neighbor. Kill 'em in the water. Everything else I'm about to tell you is just how. Here's your whole machine. A 5-gallon bucket. Old one's fine, better even. You fill it about 2/3 with water. Now here's the part that turns it from a bucket of water into a trap. You don't want clean water. Clean water she'll pass right by. You throw in a couple handfuls of grass clippings or hay or a few dead leaves, some straw off the barn floor, and you let it sit 2-3 days in the warm and go off. Get ripe, get to smelling. Because that smell, that green, rotten, swampy stink, to a mother mosquito, that is the finest perfume there is. That tells her, rich water here, plenty for the babies to eat. She will fly past your clean bird bath and past the puddle by the shed to come lay in that bucket. You're not fighting her instinct, you see. You're using it. You're setting the table exactly the way she likes it and inviting her to it. Set it in the shade, down low, out of the wind, somewhere she'd naturally hunt for water. Not out in the open sun. I'll come back to why that matters. Because getting that wrong is how folks botch the whole thing. You've built her a nursery. Now we're going to make it the last nursery she ever picks. This is the piece the whole video's named for. You drop in what's called a mosquito dunk. Looks like a little beige donut, hard, about the size of an Oreo. Runs you $1 something, maybe $2, and you can buy 'em about anywhere. The farm store, the hardware, the internet. One of 'em treats 100 square foot of water and keeps working a solid 30 days. So 1 tablet, 1 bucket, 1 month. That's the $2. Now what's in it? That's the clever part. And this is where the old idea got its modern tool. It's a bacterium. Natural thing, lives in dirt. The long name's Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis, but everybody just says BTI. As that little donut sits and dissolves, it lets that BTI loose into the water. The wrigglers down there, they're filter feeders. They can't help it. They eat whatever's floating in the water. And now that's the BTI. And once one of them eats it, it's done. Ruptures them from the inside. Dead inside a day. Every larva in that bucket, gone. And any new egg she lays after? Those hatch, those eat it too, those die too. For a month, off 1 tablet. This is the credibility beat. Don't rush it. Now let me be straight with you, the way I said I would. My grandfather never had a dunk. In Amos's day, if you had standing water you didn't want breeding, you skimmed a film of coal oil across the top of it to smother the wrigglers, cut off their air. Or you dropped a few minnows in the stock tank and let them eat the larvae. That's the real old way, and it's the same idea exactly. Kill 'em in the water. But I'll tell you honest, the coal oil killed everything and fouled the water, and the minnows only work where you've got a tank to keep 'em. The dunk is just the cleaner, safer version of a thing my people already knew. I'm not going to stand here and tell you the pioneers had a tablet. They had the idea. This is us finally getting the idea right. The botch on this one, 2 ways folks ruin it. First, they drop the dunk in clean, fresh water with no stink to it, and she never comes, so there's nothing for it to kill. You need the funk. Second, they get antsy and dump the bucket out and start fresh, and now you've thrown out a working trap and set the clock back to 0. Don't. You leave it be. Foul is the whole point. Now this is the part I care about most, and it's the part right there in the title, so let's do it proper. That BTI, it is choosy. It don't poison everything it touches. It only does its work in the gut of a certain narrow little family of critters, mosquito larvae and their cousins, the black fly and the fungus gnat. That's about it. It needs their exact kind of gut to work. Anything else eats it, nothing happens. So walk it through with me. A honeybee comes to that water for a drink, nothing happens to her. She's fine, flies home. Your dog laps out of the bucket, and he shouldn't, but dogs do. Nothing happens. The birds, the toads, the fish in your pond, the ladybugs, the earthworms, nothing. It runs right through. It was studied every which way for exactly this, and that's why they'll let you put it in a bird bath, in a fish pond, in a stock trough that animals drink from. You see the difference. When you fog your yard with poison, you're killing everything out there. The bees you need for the garden, the dragonflies that were eating mosquitoes for you, the lightning bugs your grandkids chase. You nuke the whole world to get at one bug. This here does the opposite. It reaches into that one bucket, kills that one family of pests, and leaves every other living thing on your place completely alone. That, neighbor, is the whole reason this is the old-timer's way and not the poison peddler's way. It's selective. It's got sense to it. All right, let's make it last, because a trap you forget about is no trap at all. Shade. I said it before, and here's the why. Out in the full sun, that ripe water gets too hot and it dries down, and a dry bucket ain't trapping anything. Under a tree, up against the north side of the shed, low and cool, that's where she hunts, and that's where your water holds. So that's where the bucket goes. Then it's just 2 things to remember, and they're easy. 1, top the water back up when it drops, with a little more grass or leaves to keep it ripe. 2. Every 30 days or so, in goes a fresh dunk. That's it. 30 seconds a month. Set yourself a mind to do it the first of the month, same as anything else. And if you've got a real bug problem, and out here we do, don't set 1, set 3 or 4. Ring your porch and your garden and wherever you sit of an evening. Each one's pulling every female in from a good ways off and killing her whole line. Get enough of them out and working, and inside 2-3 weeks you will feel the difference. Not because you killed the ones biting you tonight, because you killed the 10,000 that would have been biting you next month. The botch here's the same as always. Sun, clean water, or forgetting the dunk. Keep it shady, keep it foul, keep it fed. That's the whole job. Now, that thing I held back. Go look at your porch. That blue light that hangs there and crackles all night. The zapper. The one that sounds like it's winning. Every little snap feels like one less mosquito, don't it? Here's what the science actually found, and I want you to sit with it. A university put a zapper out for a whole summer and counted every single bug it killed. Near 14,000 dead insects in that thing. And of all 14,000, you want to guess how many were mosquitoes? 31. Not 3,100. 31. Less than 1/4%. Another study. 10,000 bugs killed in a night, and 8 were mosquitoes. 8. So what's it killing all night then? The other 99.8%? It's killing moths, beetles, lacewings, lightning bugs. And this is the part that'll get you. It's killing the very bugs that eat mosquitoes. The dragonflies, the predators. And here's the worst of it, neighbor. Because that light draws bugs in from all over, some folks reckon a zapper actually pulls more mosquitoes into your yard than it ever kills. Chew on that. You paid $100, $200 for a machine. It runs on your power all night. It murders every helpful, harmless creature on your place, the pollinators, the mosquito eaters, the lightning bugs, and it lets the actual mosquitoes fly right on by to bite you. It's not just useless. It is making your problem worse while it charges you for the privilege. And the $2 bucket in the shade? The one that harms nothing but the one bug you're after? It's out there, quietly winning. That's the whole thing right there. The expensive machine kills everything except the pest. The old bucket kills the pest and nothing else. Tells you about everything, that does. For them that don't know me, I'm Elias. I keep to myself up here in the North Woods, in a cabin my own 2 hands know every log of. 5th generation on this ground. My people were here before the power lines were, and some corners of my life they still haven't reached. Most of what I know I didn't read anywhere. I got it standing at my grandfather's elbow. Amos. He never once explained a thing to me. You watched him do it, or you didn't learn it. He kept a leather journal, wrote in a hand I can barely read now, and this mosquito business, the idea of it, that's in there. Older than I am. Older than him. The tools changed. I'll be honest about that as we go, but the idea he had is the same idea that clears my yard tonight. Now, I want to be fair about something, because I'm not one to tell you there's a fella in a room somewhere plotting against you. There isn't. It's simpler and it's sadder than that. It's just that nobody ever got rich selling you a $2 answer. There's no money in an old bucket. There's no salesman knocking on your door for a handful of grass and a $1 tablet. But a $200 machine that plugs in and glows and makes a satisfying little snap all night, see, that they can sell you. That's got a box and a warranty and a picture of a happy family on it. So that's what got sold. For 30, 40 years now. And the old way, the cheap way, the way that actually works, it just quietly got forgotten. Not banned, not hidden, just forgotten, because forgetting it was profitable, and remembering it wasn't. That's most of what's wrong with how we handle things now, if you want my opinion. But that's a longer talk. If you like this kind of talk, do me the one favor and hit that subscribe. Costs you nothing, and it keeps the old ways moving to the next person. That's all I ask. So here it is, quick. You don't fight her in the air, you kill her in the water. You set a bucket, 2/3 water, throw in grass and let it go ripe so she wants it. You drop in a $2 dunk, BTI, and it kills every larva for a month and touches nothing else alive. You keep it shady and foul and fed. Fresh dunk every 30 days, 3 or 4 buckets round where you sit. And that crackling light on the porch? Take it down. It was never your friend. I think about Amos with this one. He didn't have a tablet, and he didn't have a study telling him 31 out of 14,000. He just knew, the way those old folks knew things, that you don't declare war on the whole outdoors to solve one problem. You watch the creature, you learn its habits, and you use its own nature against it, quiet, with the least harm you can manage. That's the difference between the old way and the new, and it was never really about the bucket. The new way says, buy a machine and kill everything and don't think too hard. The old way says, pay attention, understand the thing, then do the one small, smart move that fixes it and leaves the rest of God's creation be. We traded that in for the crackle and the glow, and we're worse off for it, poorer and buggier, and we killed a whole lot of lightning bugs finding it out. So here's what I want from you this week. Just one thing. Find you an old bucket, fill it, throw a handful of grass in, set it in the shade, and let it get to stinking. That's all. You don't even need the dunk yet. Just build the trap and watch it, and you'll see her start coming to it. Then get your $2 tablet and finish the job. One bucket. This week. Start there. And then tell me down in the comments, what did your people do about the skeeters before there was a store to sell them a machine? Coal oil on the water? Minnows in the trough? Smoked pot by the porch of an evening? Somebody's grandmother had a way, and I want to hear it. What was it, and what county were they in? Put it down there. That's how these things get kept. Keep the old ways, friend.